Welcome back to another thrilling episode on our channel. Today we're diving into the world of law and order with a jaw-dropping countdown of the top 5 most dramatic courtroom moments ever witnessed. From heart-wrenching testimonies to unbelievable outbursts, these intense trials will have you on the edge of your seat. So grab your gavel and join us as we unravel the stories behind these unforgettable scenes. Also, let us know in the comment section, what do you think about the decisions made by judges and juries in these cases? Remember to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications to never miss a moment of the action. Number 5. Christopher McNabb. The case of Christopher McNabb in Covington, Georgia, captured national attention as it involved the tragic death of a 2-week-old infant named Kalia. McNabb, the child's father, was accused of killing his newborn daughter in October 2017, and the case quickly became one of the most emotionally charged trials in recent history. During the investigation, McNabb and the child's mother, Courtney Bell, reported Kalia missing, prompting a massive search effort by the local community and law enforcement. After an exhaustive search, the infant's body was discovered in a wooded area near their home, wrapped in a t-shirt and placed inside a duffel bag. As the trial unfolded, the prosecution presented a damning case against McNabb, including evidence of a tumultuous relationship with Bell and a history of drug use. McNabb's own family members testified against him, and investigators revealed that he had searched online for ways to shut a baby up prior to Kalia's death. Despite the overwhelming evidence, McNabb vehemently maintained his innocence throughout the trial, claiming that he loved his daughter and would never harm her. As the trial drew to a close, the judge posed a question to McNabb, asking what sentence the person responsible for the crime should receive. McNabb responded passionately, stating that the perpetrator should be put under the jail and receive the maximum sentence. In a dramatic turn of events, McNabb's words ultimately sealed his fate. The jury found him guilty of malice murder, felony murder, aggravated battery, and concealing the death of another. Taking McNabb's own words into account, the judge sentenced him to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The Christopher McNabb case serves as a stark reminder of the tragic consequences of violence and the importance of protecting the most vulnerable members of society. The heartbreaking loss of a 2-week-old baby girl and the life sentence handed down to her own father continue to resonate with those who followed the trial, serving as a cautionary tale of the depths to which human cruelty can descend.
If you ever find out who did them, they deserve to be under the jail.
Okay, so they ought to get the maximum sentence.
Most definitely.
Okay. On the crime of malice murder, I sentence you to life in confinement without parole. On concealing the death of another, I sentence you to 10 years in confinement consecutive or after.
Number 4. Franklin Williams. Franklin Williams' case in Cleveland, Ohio was marked by an unusual and dramatic courtroom scene that gained significant media attention. Williams was facing multiple felony charges, including armed robberies, kidnapping, and fleeing from the police. Throughout the trial, Williams exhibited disruptive behavior, repeatedly interrupting proceedings and speaking over the judge, despite multiple warnings to remain quiet. Growing increasingly frustrated with Williams' behavior, Judge John Russo resorted to an unconventional and controversial method to maintain order in the courtroom. In an unprecedented move, the judge ordered that Williams' mouth be duct taped shut in an effort to prevent further outbursts. The shocking scene was captured on video and quickly circulated through media outlets, raising questions about the appropriateness of the judge's actions and sparking a heated debate about the limits of courtroom decorum. Initially, Williams was sentenced to 24 years in prison by Judge Russo. However, in the aftermath of the highly publicized duct tape incident, the sentence was thrown out, and Judge Russo issued an apology for his actions. The case was then reassigned to a different judge, who was tasked with determining a new sentence for Williams. Under the guidance of the new judge, Williams was ultimately sentenced to 33 years in prison, an increase of 9 years from the original sentence. While the duct tape incident raised concerns about the treatment of defendants in the courtroom, it also highlighted the importance of maintaining order and decorum during legal proceedings. Franklin Williams' case serves as a reminder of the delicate balance between upholding the rights of defendants and ensuring that the judicial process is conducted with respect and dignity. As a result of the dramatic and highly publicized courtroom incident, the case has left a lasting impact on public discourse surrounding courtroom behavior and the treatment of defendants in the American judicial system.
I'll give him a chance to speak in sentence.
Take me off.
Now I'd like you to speak.
Mr. Williams, I want to make it real clear. If you spit on, attempt to bite, or injure any of my deputies,
None of that, man.
you're going to have a bad day.
None of that.
Oh, you
Put the
clear?
tape on me, man. We done with this shit. That's what it is.
We'll go back on the record. Mr. Williams will have a chance to speak.
And I'll be monitoring everything I say.
Go ahead.
How can I
Number 3. Camilla Gamet. In a gripping trial that took place in Jackson, Mississippi, Camilla Gamet stood accused of murdering her boyfriend, Marcel Hill. Throughout the proceedings, Gamet maintained that she had acted in self-defense, claiming that she had been the victim of ongoing abuse by Hill, and that she had no choice but to protect herself. Gamet's defense team argued that she had been subjected to a pattern of physical and emotional abuse, which ultimately led to the fateful night when she fatally stabbed her boyfriend. They presented evidence of past incidents, including text messages and witness accounts, in an attempt to convince the jury of the severity of the abuse Gamet had endured. However, the prosecution painted a different picture of the events leading up to Hill's death. They argued that Gamet had a history of violent behavior and that her claims of self-defense were merely an attempt to escape responsibility for her actions. They presented forensic evidence and witness testimonies suggesting that Hill's death was not the result of a struggle for survival, but rather a deliberate act of aggression by Gamet. As the trial unfolded, it became evident that the case was complex and emotionally charged. The jury and the public grappled with the conflicting narratives and evidence presented by both the defense and the prosecution. Ultimately, the judge found Camilla Gamet guilty of first-degree murder, rejecting her self-defense claim. Acknowledging the gravity of the crime and the impact it had on the victim's family, the judge sentenced Gamet to life in prison without the possibility of parole. This decision underscored the court's determination to hold her accountable for her actions, while also highlighting the challenges of understanding and evaluating claims of self-defense in cases involving intimate partner violence.
To send her where she will also die. I can't believe she...
I agree with the family. I hope you die in prison as well. You know, if this was a death penalty state, you'd be getting the chair.
Number 2. Kimberly Kesser. Kimberly Kesser found herself at the center of a high-profile trial in Nassau County, Florida, when she was charged with the brutal murder of her coworker. The case garnered significant attention as the nature of the crime and the relationship between Kesser and the victim raised many questions about motive and the circumstances leading up to the tragic event. The prosecution built a strong case against Kesser, presenting evidence that pointed to her as the primary suspect. They argued that there was a clear motive for the crime, rooted in a bitter workplace dispute that had escalated over time. Additionally, they presented forensic evidence, including DNA and surveillance footage, which placed Kesser at the scene of the crime and linked her directly to the murder. Kesser's defense team, on the other hand, sought to create doubt around the prosecution's narrative. They questioned the reliability of the evidence presented and highlighted inconsistencies in the case against Kesser. They also introduced alternative theories about the crime, suggesting that other individuals may have had a motive and opportunity to commit the murder. Throughout the trial, the jury was faced with the difficult task of weighing the conflicting evidence and arguments presented by both sides. The emotional testimony of the victim's family members and friends, as well as Kesser's own account of her relationship with the victim, further complicated the jury's decision-making process. In the end, the jury found Kimberly Kesser guilty of first-degree murder. The judge, acknowledging the heinous nature of the crime and the overwhelming evidence against Kesser, sentenced her to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The case served as a stark reminder of the potential for violence to erupt in seemingly ordinary settings and the lasting impact such crimes can have on the lives of those involved. Number 1. Anthony Kirkland. Anthony Kirkland, a notorious serial killer from Cincinnati, Ohio, terrorized the community with a string of grisly murders that occurred over a 3-year period. His victims were all women, and the brutality of the crimes left a lasting impact on the local community. Throughout the investigation and trial, authorities and the public alike struggled to understand the motivations behind Kirkland's heinous acts. The case against Kirkland was meticulously built on the foundation of extensive forensic evidence, witness testimony, and even Kirkland's own chilling confessions. As investigators delved deeper into his past, they uncovered a history of violence and criminal behavior, painting a dark picture of a man who seemed to lack empathy and was capable of committing unspeakable acts. During the trial, the prosecution presented a strong case, emphasizing the sadistic nature of Kirkland's crimes and his apparent lack of remorse. The defense, on the other hand, sought to humanize Kirkland and explored the possibility of mental illness or trauma as contributing factors to his actions. Despite their efforts, the overwhelming weight of the evidence against Kirkland made it impossible to generate sympathy for him in the eyes of the jury. As the trial progressed, Kirkland's own words would ultimately prove to be his undoing. In a chilling moment, he referred to himself as evil and a monster, further solidifying the image of a remorseless killer in the minds of the jury and the public. After deliberating on the evidence, the jury found Anthony Kirkland guilty of multiple counts of murder. In light of the gruesome nature of the crimes and Kirkland's chilling self-assessment, the judge sentenced him to death.
Always remain with her.
I hate the fact that Esme had to die in order for my granddaughter's murder to get resolved.
I want you to die slowly, but it's not going to happen. They going to put that needle in you, and you going to go quick. But you tortured them children. You torture everybody.
Currently, Kirkland awaits execution at the Chillicothe Correctional Facility in Ohio as the community continues to grapple with the aftermath of his horrific acts. The case serves as a sobering reminder of the depths of human depravity and the tragic loss of life at the hands of a remorseless killer. Thank you for joining us on this chilling journey through the top 10 most dramatic courtroom moments. These cases serve as a stark reminder of the gravity of the crimes committed and the impact that they have on the lives of the victims, their families, and society as a whole. As we reflect on the stories we've shared, let us remember the importance of seeking justice and maintaining our faith in the legal system. If you found this video both informative and captivating, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more riveting content. Don't forget to click the bell icon to receive notifications for our latest videos. If you have thoughts or suggestions for future videos, please leave them in the comment section below. Until next time, stay safe and take care.